Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. Well, wait, hold up. Okay, listen, I would like to say one thing now. So from now on, I'm only going to say video or vlog, depending on the video. So if I'm actually making a vlog, then I'll say vlog. And if it's just a sit-down video, which it has been in the last few times, now I'm just going to say video. So, hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Jeevan. I'm a third-year medical student studying in Poland. Today we're going to be talking about racism in Poland. So this is quite a tricky subject to talk about, as racism is an extremely sensitive topic, and now that racism is the talk of social media, the news, mainly because of what happened to Mr. George Floyd, I felt like this was the right time to sort of talk about it. Now, before I get into the video, there are a few things that I would like to mention. Unfortunately, racism, despite history teaching us and showing us the tribulations, the adversity, the heart-wrenching difficulties, and the lifestyle that was caused by racism, still remains. Racism is simply ubiquitous in the sense that it's present everywhere. Racism is experienced in all countries, so Poland is no different. In Poland, I have heard that foreigners experience less racism in the bigger cities compared to the smaller cities. And so my personal experiences and the experiences from my friends are all stemmed from us living in a very, very small city. If you guys would like to know where, go and check out this video here. Keep that in mind, so that we are living in a very small city, not the big ones like Warsaw, Gdansk, Poznan. So have I experienced racism? Actually, no, not really. Or maybe I have, but it was so minuscule, it was so small that I didn't recall it or acknowledge it. So nothing that I can remember, that's for sure. Which I do find a bit surprising, because a lot of my mates have experienced racism. So I thought I would share some of their experiences. Now I'm going to keep all the names, everything anonymous, so I'm going to put them under random names. So the first one is, so group 1, they were on their way to a friend's birthday dinner. From nowhere, these two Polish people come and scream white power and kurwa czarny. Now kurwa czarny means basically like black or like black or like black, something bad. So kurwa is a word where if you use it in a bad tone, it can mean like the F word and like bad words, but you can also use it when you're excited about something or in a happy moment. But in this manner, it's obviously towards the not nice aspect, and czarny just means black. So yeah, and this is done out in public in front of other Polish people as well. I mean, do you understand how uncomfortable that is? When you're not in your home country and you get called names like that, that is like, why? Like, what do you get out of that? Now, obviously, my mates didn't care about that because they are better than that and they're more mature than those people. So hence, they just brushed them off and just ignored them. Same group also said that they experienced some from the clubs. There have been times where guys have been like, same, kurwa czarny, leave the country, terrorists. Like, what? I mean, come on, man. It's the club. We're all trying to have some fun. We're all trying to make memories. I think that's the last thing that anyone wants to hear on a night out. By doing that, you just put a bad name on Polish people when Polish people act like that. And it's funny actually, because the next thing is that same group of people, they once were in a taxi, and the taxi driver was saying that he lived in England, and he said that the TV and news and media portray us all as being bad, and that's where the racism stems from, and people are ignorant. Hold up. Sorry, I've been living in England for quite a few years now, and TV and bad media against Polish people? What? No offense, but that's a complete load of bollocks. I have no clue what that means. I really don't. I mean, get this. Polish is the second most spoken language in England. Like, what? No offense, but when I think about the second most spoken language other than English, I personally think it's some sort of Indian language, because let's be honest, we are everywhere, or maybe Chinese, or maybe Arabic, I don't know. And so that should tell you one thing, that is, there are a load of Polish people in England, and we accept Polish people with open hands. I mean, if you come here and if you ask anyone about Polish people, they are mainly going to be saying that they are very hard working people. They are known for being really good hard workers. They stick to their job, they just get the job done, get their money, and then they go. Very simple. They keep things simple. Honestly, we love Polish people here working. They do an amazing job, and they definitely add to the economy. There's no doubt about that. So, if we're accepting people like you, there's no reason why you should not accept people like us. And you might think, and some of you who are racist, I'm not gonna lie, you're probably thinking, oh yeah, no, but British people are white people. But sorry, maybe you're not living in this century. There's no such thing as white British people anymore. The UK is one of the most cosmopolitan places in the whole world. British people now are not white. British people are black, they're Chinese, they're Indian, Punjabi, Polish, Spanish, Brazilian. All these people are all British, in the sense that there is no such thing as white British anymore. There's no such thing. But also think that as well. But anyway, this group, they definitely said that there has been more positive than negative. So there has been less racism to what they were expecting, which is a very good thing. That is a positive thing. But still, it shouldn't happen in the first place. Now, the second person, she wears a hijab. And this has been some of her experience. So she was once walking down a river with her friend, and this man comes from nowhere and starts shouting, "Charna," which means black, "go back to your land." And he then said to off from nowhere. Another time was she was at a bus stop. This big guy across the bus stop started shouting. Obviously she didn't understand what he was saying, and she did get very scared, and so she actually walked to the next bus stop in order to catch that bus. Right, okay. And that's happened several times, but especially this one time, this group of teenagers that were walking in front of them, they kept on turning back to my friend and her friend, and they looked and they gave an impression like as if they were gonna mug them. And it was so much to the point that at some point they actually started to speed up. Like, oh, come on. Like, come on. Yeah, what the are you? Are you a little pussy? I mean, sorry, let's just hold up. I mean, okay. The next thing was, when it comes to security checks in the airports in the UK and Ireland, when it comes to security checks for ladies with a hijab, they take them to a separate room and they do, the physical checks, but they do not take off the hijab. However, in Poland, they do. And she says, fair enough, that's the rules, I understand that, I respect that, no worries. So, so she accepts that, no complaint against that. But this one time, there was this lady who was doing the inspecting, and once she removed the hijab in a private room, that is, just from the beginning, her whole attitude was just unpleasant, just from the beginning. And that continued after taking off the hijab. She took her fingers obviously to check, but it wasn't in a pleasant manner at all. It was quite rough. She genuinely was just digging, really just checking, and I mean, my friend felt very, very uncomfortable, almost like as if she does have something. That is just horrible. Sorry, but when it comes to religious beliefs, if people are going against their religious belief in order to suit your laws, then you should have that same level of respect back as to how much they have back to you. Right, that's the simple, basic human being manners that anyone has to have, and that is disgusting. And the final thing she said is, sometimes in public she finds people actually move away from her, or especially moving their children closer to them, as if, I don't know, she's gonna hurt them in some manner. Like, no offense, but grow up, will you? Like, travel or educate yourself. Stop living in your little cocoon. And the same person says, I've traveled to Warsaw, Poznan, Gdansk. She says people are evidently more educated and more mature, because when I'm in, for example, in Warsaw, she says that I feel free. Like, literally, I've not had any experience at all in the bigger cities. Like, people don't give a shit. That's amazing. So, so that shows that there is the potential of, racism not being as apparent, which is a good thing. But still, it shouldn't happen in the first place. And the final group of people, they went to Krakow to a music festival, and on the way, I think they were going from one venue to another, or I don't know, they were going somewhere, and this group of guys, I'm guessing they were youngsters, because the way they behaved, they have to be. So both of them were going. These guys started to try and get their attention, and they ignored them. And just because they ignored them, right, these pathetic guys got so hurt just because a few girls didn't respond, that they started saying very racist comments like, here you go, take a soap and go and wash off your skin, or go to a zoo and monkeys. Like, what? Like, what is wrong with you? And wow, mature. mature. Honestly, real gentlemen, that's for sure. Sorry, if you're watching this and if you're telling me that that's fine, oh my days, you are a shitty human being. I'm sorry, but you are. So yeah, so those were some of the experiences. And yeah, as you saw, they were all not nice things to have been said to anyone, and no one deserves that sort of engagement. I hope people who are watching this, who do think like this, or who have said things similar in the past, or who do agree with these things, that to try and maybe understand from this perspective as to how bad it actually is. I don't know, maybe open up your mind a little bit more, maybe. Now, do you guys remember how I said that I personally have not experienced racism? Well, that's true. I've not experienced racism in Poland, physically being in the country, but have I experienced racism from a Polish person? Yes, I have, through social media. Now, for those of you who didn't see it, basically on my previous video, there were a lot of nasty comments that were said, especially racist comments, especially from a handful of people. And I'm going to put some screenshots of the comments on the screen, and if you guys can just pause the video and read them. Right, so I have never come across any racist comments to that sort of extent. Like, that for me was a shocker. That really was. Wow, there are so many things I can say about that, but obviously it's gonna come out angry. It is. I would like to say that if you read that and if you think that that was fine, if you agreed with it, then there are two things I would like to tell you. First is, you should be ashamed of calling yourself a human being, because I would like to tell you one thing, is that this world cannot survive if we are only going to stick to our people. For example, if you Polish people were not allowed to work in England, Scandinavia, blah blah blah, wherever, some of you guys would not even have the lifestyles that you have right now, where you work in these countries and you go back and you live like kings with your Range Rovers and your fancy apartments and stuff. So this world does not work without all of us being together. And the second thing is, well, comment below and tell us why you agree with that. Don't start throwing racist comments in the comment section below, because that's not going to get you anywhere. It's very, very simple. If you want people to understand your mentality, you have to say why and so on, and that's how we have a conversation. That's how we learn as a community. That's how we learn together. So don't start throwing racist comments. If you do, you will automatically be classified as an A-star student in the subject of stupidity and idiocy. If I do see a racist comment, I'm literally simply going to comment stupid, because you clearly have not understood what I've said, and that, oh my god, and that just shows how. Now, regarding the screenshots that I posted, if you guys have something to say about it and so on, feel free to comment on this video or on my previous video, which is this one here. Click onto that card and it will take you directly to that video. So those have been all the experiences from my friends, and including myself, and generally they all have said, including myself, is that there has been more positive than negative, in the sense that there has been way less racism compared to what they were expecting to have been faced with. In fact, some actually said that they were genuinely mentally preparing for it, and even they said they experienced way less to what they were expecting, and that's a really good thing. That does show that people are traveling more, people are educating themselves, people are indulging in different cultures and stuff, and that's amazing, guys. I mean, that's how we grow, man, and that's how we enjoy life. Honestly, every year we hold a multicultural day where all the different cultures from our university come together, and we just showcase our cultures and our foods and dances and stuff, so which is this video here as well, so you guys can go and check that out. And you see there are so many Polish people there who loved it, who genuinely enjoyed it so much. So it's not that everyone is racist in that manner, no, obviously not. There's a good amount of people who do love these different cultures. I mean, for the Polish people who are watching, your brothers and sisters, man, they are everywhere. Polish people are everywhere. That's what I always say to people, that I think Polish people are literally the white Indians, because us Indians are also everywhere. You guys are in freaking Brazil and Spain and in England, Sweden, Denmark, like, you guys are everywhere. So you guys should be proud of that, and you guys should learn something from those people. So is Poland racist? Well, I can't really say that. That's too broad of a question. But is racism present in Poland? Yes and no. And I don't think I need to talk about that, because I think if you've come this far, I think you've understood it fairly well. But yeah. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. As always guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video.